Gaping Dragon is one of two bosses from Dark Souls 1 that was brought back for Elden Ring Nightreign and can appear as the Night 1 boss for the Gaping Jaw, Augur, Dark Drift Night, and Night Aspect expeditions. Visually, they couldn't have picked a more iconic boss. Gaping Dragon is easily the grossest, most disgusting looking creature in the game, and I love it. I think adding a touch of grotesque transforms a boss from mid to downright memorable. Apart from Ornstein and Smough, I'm not sure FromSoftware could have picked a better boss that would have had players instantly being like, oh my gosh, Dark Souls 1 in my Elden Ring? Which makes it a little weird that Centipede Demon was shown more in the promotional material, but oh well. In terms of the fight itself, it's mostly the same with a few tweaks. Normally the goop that the Gaping Dragon spews everywhere causes extreme equipment durability damage, but since that is not a mechanic in Elden Ring Nightreign, it instead reduces the Nightfarer's max HP temporarily. In theory that makes the Gaping Dragon deadlier, but since Nightfarers are more mobile and reactive, combined with the lack of walls to corner unsuspecting players in, results in it not usually affecting the fight too much. In an attempt to combat this, they made the boss leave behind small puddles of the goop when walking around below half health, but this still doesn't do much because it's really easy to avoid the puddles. One good thing they preserved was the tail cut. It doesn't drop a specific weapon like in the original game, but does drop a random common or rare weapon and a consumable. Part of the challenge of the original Dark Souls Gaping Dragon fight was moving to the back of the boss because it was safer there, but the boss's humongous size and the player's sluggish movements really added to how hard it was. In Nightreign, characters can easily get behind it with a surge sprint, and ranged characters don't even need to do that because the lack of walls makes it always easy to just back up to a safe distance. Gaping Dragon really needed some way to combat ranged characters more easily. In terms of how well it matches Nightreign with the lore, it's not bad. Gaping Dragon itself doesn't have too much in the Dark Souls lore, meaning it could be brought elsewhere and can more easily adapt to its surroundings. Gaping Dragon gets an A tier on the tier list of how well Dark Souls 1 bosses work in Nightreign. Visually, it will always be striking, and that is such a huge factor, but the fight itself remains too easy despite multiple tweaks to cause it to, on paper, be harder than it was in the source game. It's too far offset by the increased capabilities of the players. However, it is still just a Night 1 boss, so it shouldn't be too challenging, just slightly more than it is in its current state.